Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today, I'm proud to share one of my personal favorite vintage Omega references from the Omega Geneve family. This is the Omega Geneve Chronostop Chronograph, a unique chronograph, part of the Geneve family. It went through several life cycle stages. Launched as the original caliber 865 without a date and with a different case back in 1966, it gained the caliber 920 with the date that you see here in 68. And then in 1970, it was launched in the form that you witness on my wrist, built by the Fontana case company and described as the Italian model. This is reference 146.012, 41.5 millimeters in stainless steel. This was a big sporting reference by the standards of its day. And you can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it has more of a presence than you would expect from a chronograph with design roots in the late 1960s. The watch is not terribly thick, 12.8 millimeters, much of which is that domed style plexiglas. We'll get a little bit closer here. Lug to lug, the watch measures 48 millimeters, so I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference. You will wear it well. The bracelet is an original 1153 piece with 138 end links. So as you can see, this was an integrated bracelet and lug design. Those lugs are fully integrated. So the bracelet is designed to work with the look of the watch. It's also period correct and model correct, which is to say it has a little bit of that play that we would describe as Rolex rattle. If this were a Rolex, I don't really have a word for it or a term for it on an Omega other than to say it is a everyday driver in terms of condition. It's physically secure and inspires confidence on the wrist, but it's obviously developed some wear and tear over the years. The clasp is in excellent shape, and as you can see, the original Omega logo is blazoned with some of the original blasted center of the logo present. So all of the original metal is here. This one has been sparsely, if ever, refinished. You can see the multiple anchoring points inside the clasp, as well as the individual links. You can see hollow center links, just like a Rolex bracelet of the time. The case band is simple but strong, as it is conical, and if you'll note, the bezel and the case are all of one piece. It is conical from the lip of the case band and symmetrical all the way around. The case itself is round, and the case itself is principally of satin finish, though you can see that the watch derives its strength not from the character of the finish, but from the sharpness of its creases, and it is the sharpness of that crease that attests to just how charitably, or perhaps rarely, this watch has ever been refinished. All the original metal is still there. That goes for the back side of the case and the case back as well. You can see those lugs are crisp and original. Now, the plexiglass is in outstanding condition. You can see there's the little phantom floating Omega logo at center. This is an Omega factory plexi. All of the original thermoplastic is there. The dial has been touched up a little bit. Upon inspection, I found that the original tritium, which had started to flake, had been removed from the hands as well as the indices, and it's possible that the Omega logo and marquee as well as the Geneve script were at some point touched up. I want full disclosure on a vintage watch. I'm not going to tell you tales. This is a strong daily driver. You can also see that the galvanized silver base of the dial is correct and original, as well as the indices themselves, which are original and correct to the watch. They show the wear of ages, as do the hands at center. Nothing is too good to be true on this dial. You have the date. This is the caliber 920, which was based on the Moonwatch 861, but pared down a bit. You wind the watch and set the watch with the crown down at 4 o'clock, and you activate the Chronostop seconds only flyback chronograph, or I should say semi-flyback chronograph, by actuating the pusher at 2 o'clock. Now, unlike a true flyback only, think Zenith retro timer, this does have the ability to stop and arrest itself. We've seen some chronographs that run full time until you reset them and then they restart. You can step the seconds hand if you want to, and stay the seconds hands if you want to. So if you want a dial that's relatively inert, or you don't want to run down the lateral clutch, you can stop the works. 17 joules, manual wind. It has between 40 and 45 hours of power reserve, and it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. That's the caliber 920 with the date. This is a wonderful daily driver vintage watch. If you want something that doesn't bear any of the threats that you'll find in the typical vintage snake's pit, as I like to call it. This is a timepiece that's honest, original, and hasn't yet been bid up to high heaven past the point that collectors and enthusiasts can afford them. Also, one of the most charming chronograph references of the late mechanical watch period prior to the quartz crisis. It's a personal favorite of mine, the Omega Geneve Chronostop Chronograph. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.